Imagine living in ancient Athens, the birthplace of democracy, and home to some of the greatest minds ever. Now picture walking down the street and bumping into a guy who lives in a barrel, well, more like a ceramic jar but who's counting. This isn't just any guy. This is Diogenes of Sinope. Born in Sinope around 412 or 404 BCE, Diogenes had a fascinating start. His father minted coins, and legend has it that they were both exiled for messing with the money. While that's quite the scandal, it set Diogenes on a path that would make him one of philosophy's most intriguing characters. Arriving in Athens, Diogenes wasn't satisfied with the usual philosophizing. Nope, he wanted more. So he became a student of Antisthenes, the father of cynicism. Cynicism here isn't about being a Debbie Downer, but a way of life focused on virtue and living in accordance with nature. He took these ideas and ran with them, quite literally. Living in a jar, wearing only a cloak, and carrying a lantern in broad daylight, he was quite the spectacle. But why the lantern, you ask? He was looking for an honest man, but claimed never to have found one. One day, Alexander the Great, conqueror of worlds, came to meet this barrel-dwelling philosopher. "Ask anything of me," Alexander said. Diogenes looked up from his sunny spot and replied, "Stand out of my sunlight." The audacity! But Alexander admired it, saying that if he were not Alexander, he would want to be Diogenes. Cynicism wasn't just about witty comebacks. Diogenes emphasized simplicity, rejecting material wealth and societal norms. He wanted people to think for themselves and find happiness in the little things. Eat when hungry, sleep when tired, and don't worry about what the neighbors think. Diogenes might have lived in a jar, but his influence reached far beyond his humble abode. His ideas paved the way for Stoicism and still resonate today. Whether it's in art, literature, or the odd meme, Diogenes is still around, challenging us to live authentically. But wait, there's criticism. Not everyone was a fan. Plato called him a Socrates gone mad, and some modern critics question the practicality of his extreme lifestyle. But hey, no one's perfect. Now, you might think living in a jar is the pinnacle of Diogenes' unconventional life, but there's more. Imagine being captured by pirates and sold as a slave. For most, it would be a disaster, but for Diogenes, just another day. As the story goes, Diogenes was captured by pirates while on a voyage to Aegina. Instead of panicking or despairing, he was as cool as a cucumber. When asked what he could do, he replied, "I can govern men, therefore sell me to one who wants a master." Talk about a job interview. He was sold to a man named Diogenes, who was so impressed by Diogenes' wisdom and confidence that he put him in charge of his children's education. Diogenes went from slave to household philosopher, shaping the young minds of the next generation. He became so integral to the family that he was entrusted with managing the lands and even making crucial decisions on behalf of Diogenes. What's the lesson here? For Diogenes, life's unexpected turns were just opportunities in disguise. Whether in a jar or in chains, his freedom of thought was never for sale. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unconventional path might lead to the most profound wisdom. Diogenes' later years remained true to his philosophy. He lived among dogs, appreciating their natural way of living. He died at Corinth around the age of 89. How? Accounts vary, but whether it was from an infected dog bite or holding his breath, he left the world as he lived in it, uniquely. Diogenes was more than a quirky character. He challenged the status quo, questioned what it meant to live a good life, and left a legacy that continues to provoke thought today. So next time you're feeling weighed down by society's expectations, remember the man with the lantern and ask yourself, what would Diogenes do?